What if I told you that the most important meal of the day wasn't the meal that you ate, but rather the meal that you skipped? For years, we've anecdotally been told that in order to have a good performance, you have to have a good breakfast. We've also been told that the best way to lose weight is by keeping your metabolism functioning all day long by eating several small meals throughout the day. However, what if all of this information was wrong? Studies show that by increasing fasting windows and decreasing feeding windows lead to weight loss, better performance, and less health complications. As defined in an article entitled Intermittent Fasting, What is it and How Does it Work?, written by Johns Hopkins Medicine, defines intermittent fasting not really as a diet, but rather an eating pattern that involves scheduled hours of eating and scheduled hours of not eating. By this definition, there are several different ways to do intermittent fasting. The article further explains one method, called the 16-8 method, which involves fasting for 16 hours of the day and only eating for 8 hours of the day. They also talk about the 5-2 method, which involves eating regularly for 5 days out of the week, but fasting or restricting calories for 2 days out of a week. In another article entitled Diet Review, Intermittent Fasting for Weight Loss, written and published by Harvard T.H. Chan Public School of Health, refers to two other methods of intermittent fasting. One includes the alternate day fasting, which is where you fast every other day. And another method includes the multiple day fasting, which includes long periods of fasting involving either 24 hours, 36 hours, or 72 consecutive hour periods. An article called The Beginner's Guide to Intermittent Fasting, written by James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, and published by his website, jamesclear.com, explains how that when the body is in a fed state, it is digesting and absorbing food. Typically, the fed state starts when someone starts to eat and lasts anywhere between 3 to 8 hours after a person finishes their last bite. During the fed state, the body's insulin levels rise, making it difficult to burn fat. 8 to 10 hours after a person finishes their last meal, their body moves into the post-absorbent state, which we know as the fasted state. It is during this time that the insulin levels drop and that a person is able to tap into the body's fat storage. This leads us to the most obvious reason why people try intermittent fasting, which is weight loss. A quote taken by neuroscientist Dr. Matt Madsen from the same article previously mentioned by Johns Hopkins Medicine explains that when a person is eating 2 to 3 meals a day and consuming snacks, then the body doesn't necessarily have to tap into fat storage to get energy because you're constantly feeding it energy throughout the day. In addition, when the same person is also not exercising or they're eating more calories than their body needs for basic bodily function, then the body starts to store those excess calories as stored fat. And the only way to use these stored fat calories is by seriously restricting calories. The Johns Hopkins article further explains that intermittent fasting works by prolonging the period in which your body has burned through all the calories that you've consumed during your last meal, and it has to switch to using the stored fat calories. The article, Diet Review, Intermittent Fasting for Weight Loss, published by Harvard Public School of Health, explains that a systematic review involving 40 different studies, including a variety of 334 subjects ranging from obese to lean, over the course of 104 weeks showed that on average, each subject lost anywhere between 7 to 11 pounds per week. A second benefit to intermittent fasting is called autophagy. An article called How Long Do You Need to Fast for Autophagy, written by Dr. Charles Patrick Davis on March 22, 2021, and published by medicine.net, describes autophagy as a body's natural process to remove unnecessary or damaged components within a cell. Dr. Davis explains how the body can either completely destroy these damaged components or how it can recycle these components in order for the process of cellular repair. This is a crucial process when maintaining a person's health, as it is supporting the immune system by cleaning up toxins and infectious agents. In addition, autophagy can actually promote the death of a poor functioning cell. Therefore, it has been shown to prevent cancer initiation. To quickly define cancer, from an article called What is Cancer?, written by the National Cancer Institute and published on the website cancer.gov on May 5th, 2021, defines cancer as a disease in which some of a body's cells grow uncontrollably, and they can spread to other parts of the body. Essentially, in the cell dividing process, the body gives signals to a cell to replicate, to grow, and to stop growing. In a healthy cell, It listens to all of these body signals and stops growing whenever the body tells it to stop growing. However, in a cancer cell, it ignores the body's signals to stop growing, and it will grow and divide without ceasing. In an article named "Can Autophagy Stop Cancer Before It Starts?" written by the Salk Institute and published on healthcareineurope.com on January 24, 2019, explains that there are many checkpoints in a cell's dividing process. One of these checkpoints is autophagy. The article further explains that without autophagy, a cell can advance to a crisis state of unchecked growth and dividing, which translates to cancer. The same article, written by Dr. Davis, entitled "How Long Do You Need to Fast for Autophagy?" applies the same science of autophagy in the use of cancer, which can also prevent severe bacterial and viral infections and prevent neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. He describes that fasting is only one way to produce or enhance autophagy, but that it's also triggered by other stress states, which is fasting or severe exercise. He further explains that autophagy is believed to begin when glucose and insulin levels drop considerably, which usually occurs in the post-absorbic state or the fasting state. It can also be argued that intermittent fasting is a more natural way for our body to behave than continuous eating, as it's just one of the many ways that our bodies have evolved over time. In an article entitled "Seeking Mental Clarity, Try Fasting," written and published by Zero Fasting on December 1st, 2018, writes that some stressors on the body, such as exercise or fasting, actually sharpen biological functions and increase the production of certain molecules which prepare your tissues for responsiveness to challenges or danger as means of natural selection. The article quotes Dr. Mark Manson saying that, from an evolutionary perspective, intermittent fasting and intermittent running have been the most common energetic challenges our brains and bodies experience. The article also explains that intermittent fasting can cause an increase in the molecule BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which plays an important aspect of brain function relating to mood, cognitive function, such as regulating serotonin levels, improving synaptic plasticity, and increasing the body's ability to resist aging. Some people even refer to BDNF as the miracle grow for your brain. There are countless studies proving that not only can intermittent fasting lead to improvements in health conditions, such as decreasing diabetes, cardiovascular disease, cancers, neurological diseases, but it can also improve mental clarity and mood. However, fasting is not for everybody. Intermittent fasting, What Is It and How Does It Work article, written and published by Johns Hopkins Medicine, explains that those with diabetes or other blood sugar problems, children and teens under the age of 18, and women who are pregnant or breastfeeding should probably not fast. Also, those with a history of eating disorders should definitely consult their doctors before trying intermittent fasting. However, if you are a normal person who is healthy and looking to lose weight or experience the many cognitive and biological health advantages of fasting, then put down the fork and pick up a glass of water.